So hello and welcome to Online Study for You, a complete placement solution. So in today's video, we are going to discuss about the Deloitte technical MCQ question and the coding question that were asked in today's examination. Okay. So without wasting any time, let's directly jump to the question. So the first question that we are going to have today, you can see this problem. Okay. So the problem is, you can see it is a data structure problem and it is written what will be the level order traversal of the below given binary search tree. So it is basically a BST, okay, binary search tree, and we have to traverse it in the level order way, okay. So what actually level order traversal mean? You can traverse each level one by one from left to left, right, okay. Each level, and on that level from left to right. I hope this is clear to you. So this is actually the level 0 or level 1, first level. So first we will traverse to 9 because there is only one node which contains only 9, okay? So 9 will be the first to come. Now in the second level, there is two elements, 5 and 13. And according to the rule, we have to traverse from left to right. So leftmost will be 5 and the rightmost will be 13, okay? Again in the third level, we have three elements in that level, and again from left to right if we traverse we get 2, 10 and 17 respectively. And again in the fourth level there's only one element, that is 14, so we will write 14. And in the last level there is only one element, 15, so we will write 15 accordingly. And now if you check the options, then you will find the third option is the correct one, okay. So by that you can easily solve this kind of problem. Now, what the next problem we have? So the next problem we have is, you can see, it is basically a code is being provided in 4 different codes and we have to write or tell him that which is the correct code to check that my queue is empty or not. Okay, you can read the question statement here. Which one of the code snippet given in the options is used to check queue empty? So basically queue is a first in, first out data structure. Okay, and to insert or to traverse in the queue we use two pointers, one is front and other is rear. So front will be pointing to the first element that is being inserted in the queue and rear will be pointing to the last index element inserted in the queue. I hope this is clear to you. Now for a queue to be empty, the front and rear should be at same position, front equal to rear. If this type of condition happen that my front and rear is pointing to the same index, then I can say the queue is now empty. Okay, I hope this is clear. So for the given option, you can check the first option itself is the correct. Here, the front is equal to rear. We can say that my queue is now empty. Okay, so this kind of concept is generally being asked in this examination. You can see you have to have the clear understanding of the data structures. Okay, and for that you can also check out our course that we have recently launched. Let me show you this. Okay, you can see here achievers uh, 2.4 batch. It is a newly launched course where you will get thousands of recorded lecture, and on the top of that we will also providing you the live classes as well on every weekdays, okay, on different topics that you require. Okay, so this is a very good course for you to have if you are aiming to prepare for some companies or any competitive examination. Okay, and you can see the price is also very less. You can see just 1599 is the price, and on the top of that we have an offer for you on the top of it, and you can see here the coupon is available and it expires in only one day, so it is valid for today only. So I recommend you to go and have this course if you want to prepare for your examination, because you can have additional 99 rupees off. And if you apply it here, you can see, let me show you, then this course is easily available to you in just 1500 rupees. Okay, so this is a very good course for you to have. Please check out this course. Okay, now let's move to our course content. So we are having this here. The next question, you can see there is a flow chart has been given to us. In the flow chart, we have given a start here, instruction here. So we will start. Now, the first instruction we have been given, there are two variable A and B assigned with 2 and 3 respectively, and there is a temp variable also been declared, but currently not assigned any value, okay? And then there is an array is been assigned whose elements are been given as 6, 1, 2, and 8, okay? So this is clear to you, I hope. Now, the next instruction that we have to follow here, B is equal to minus equal to A. That means B is equal to B minus A. This is same. So we have to do that. So let's do that. So now the new value of B is nothing but 1 because 3 minus 2 will become 1. Again, we are going to a conditional statement, if statement. So if statement will either return you true and false. So if a statement is true, condition inside the if is true, then we have to go for the yes part. Or if it is false, then we have to go for the no part. So let's check whether it is true or false. So what the condition inside the if is, you can see here, if x1, that means the first index element of the array x is equal to b. Okay, let's check. So this is the 0th index and this is the first index. So the first index element of the array is what? 1, and the current value of b is also 1. That means 1 is equal to 1. This is true. That means we have to follow this part, not this. So while following this part, we go to a next instruction where our temp is assigned to x of 1. That means the first element of the array, which is 1. So our new value of temp is now 1. And x1 is assigned to x2. So whatever value in x2 will be assigned to x1. So that means the value of x2 is 2. That will be assigned to x1. Okay, so new value of x1 will be 2. And now the x2 will be reassigned to temp. So what is the value of temp? Currently 1. That will be assigned to x2. This is x2. That means the second index of the array x. This is, so this will be assigned to value 1. Basically the swapping is being happening. And now we will move to this instruction. Okay. Here the b is assigned to 0. So reassigned b to 0. Again, we go down. We go down. And here again a conditional statement is provided. So we have to do the same. If it returns true, we go to yes. If it returns false, we go to no. I hope this is clear. So let's check. So it is written x of 1 is greater than b. So our current value of b is 0 and x of 1 is 2, which is true. It is greater than 0. So we go down to the yes part. And here the third element of the x, which is the last 8, is reassigned to a minus b. So current value of a is 2 and b is 0. So a minus 2 minus 0 is nothing but 2. So now it is reassigned to 2. I hope this is clear. And now b is equal to b plus 1. So now new value of b is nothing but 1. Okay, so this is b. And again, we go down to this position. So go down inside the loop again. This instruction will be provided again. Here again, we have taking the same if x1 is greater than b. So let's check. So x1 is greater than b or not. So now current value of b is 1 and 1 is still smaller than 2. So we have to do the same. Go to yes. Again, reassign x3 to a minus b. So a minus b is what? So current value of a is 2 and b is 1. So a minus b is now 1. Now the new value of this is 1. Again, b equal to b plus 1. So b equal to b plus 1 what? So b is now 2. Okay. So b will now become 2. Now when b will become 2 and now we are checking this condition again. So x1 is currently 2 and it is not greater than 2 because p is 2. So 2 is equal to 2, not greater than 2. So this will now return me false. That means we have to go to the no part now. Okay, so this will done. Now we will go to no. And in the no portion, we have to instruct this instruction, follow this instruction, that is x of 0 is reassigned to b plus a. So value of b is 2, value of a is 2. So x of 0 is 4. That means the first element is 4. And now when we are here, the last instruction that we have to do here, you can see x2, that is the second element of the array, sorry, third element or second index element of the array is equal to x of 0 into b. So x of 0 is what? X of 0 is 4. And what is b? 2. That means 8. So that will be assigned to the second index element. This is. So now we have to report him that what will be the array element. So array element will be look like this: 4, 2, 8, 1 after all the operation. Okay, so let's check if there are any option 4281. So you can see the second option is correct for this. Now we will move to the next. Okay, so the next option itself says, you can see here, which of the options given below that is placed within where or having clause of another query. So this question is from SQL. And in SQL, when we have to do any conditions, then we are using where or having. Okay. Generally, where is being used to apply condition to any column, and having is being used when we are doing everything in a group manner. Okay. So this is the general trend. But for now, whatever the statement written after where or having, okay, that will be called as the subquery. Okay. This is called as a subquery. So now the next problem, what we have, you can see here. So this is a very good problem. Here it is saying, which of the following data structures is used to implement recursion? So if you don't know about recursion, then recursion is the function calling itself. We can say it in general word that if function is calling itself, then we can simply say it as a recursion function. And let me tell you by an example. Let's say if f4 wants any value, so he will call to f3, and then f3 calls to f2, and f2 calls to f1. Let's say f1 will be my base function, that is the last position where it is being called to. And now f1 will return its value to f2, and f2 will return its value to f3, and f3 will return its value to f4, and by that way f4 will be provided with the valid answer. So this is a general case of a recursion. Okay, so for that to happen in recursion, we are using the data structure stack. So basically what stack will do, stack is simply a last in first out data structure. So inside stack, let's say f4 is being calling to f3. So till f3 is not returning to f1, f4 with the desired result, f4 is waiting in the stack space. Okay. And again, f3 is again calling to f2. So f3 is again calling, waiting here after calling to f2. Again, f2 will be doing same. F2 will be waiting here to call to f1. So when f2 is calling to f1, so f1 is a base class, let's say base value. So from here, it will return to f2. So when f2 will get its value, so it will remove from the stack and it will return to f3. And when f3 gets its value, it will also remove from stack and return its value to f4. And again, f4, when it gets this value, then it will return to the user where it is asked for. Okay. So by this way, actually, the stack has been used to implement recursion. Okay. So I hope this is clear to you. Now we are moving to the next problem. So the next problem is, you can see here, given a method in a protected class, what access modifier do you use to restrict the access to that method to only the other members of the same class? Okay, so this is a very good problem. So and the correct answer for this is private. Yes, it is true. Private actually, we use private, and private has a property that the data members which is declared as private will be accessible only within the class. It is not accessible outside of the class. Okay, so only the data members that is been declared inside that class are able to use that private. Okay, private value that we have declared. So hope this is clear to you. Now we are moving to the next problem. So the next problem that we have, you can see, it is a kind of pseudocode. Okay, and let's see here. Here the array of size 9 is been declared and all the elements of the array is been declared as follows. Okay. Now then there is a variable num rows is been declared and assigned value as 3. Then again a variable num column is been declared and assigned a value as 3. And then the fourth variable is been declared A, B, C, D, but the value is not currently assigned to this at this step. Now in the next step, A, the first variable that have been assigned without a value is been assigned with a value of ARR of 0. That means the first element of the array. So the first element of the array is what? 1. So A is equal to 1. Okay, let me write it here. A, B, C, and D. So A is now 1. Now in the third step, B is been assigned to array of number call. Number call is what? Actually, you can see here 3 minus 1, that is 2. So what is the second index? That means the third element. You can see this, okay, because this is 0, 1, and second index. So the second indexed element of the array is 3, and that 3 is been assigned to B. So B is been assigned with 3. Now, what actually value is been assigned? So C is been assigned with the value of the array at the index of num call. Num call is 3 multiplied by num rows minus 1. So num rows is basically what? Num rows is 3 and minus 1 is what? Minus 1 is 2. So 3 into 2, basically you can see here 6. So the sixth index element or the seventh element, let's index array here 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So this is the sixth indexed element and that value is 7. Okay. So that value has been assigned to C. And now for D, you can see here again, the index will be num call into num row minus 1. Now you can see if you observe these two have the same, but the operation is being different because here the bracket is being used. So bracket has higher precedence over others. So first this function or this arithmetic operation is being done here. But in this case, since multiplication has higher precedence over subtraction, so this operation is being done first. So 3 into 3 will be 9 and 9 minus 1 will be 8. So the whole value here is 8 and the 8 index element is nothing but 9. And after doing all this, we have to simply print A, B, and A, B, C, and D. And you can see the value of A, B, C, and D are 1, 3, 7, and 9. And you can see first option itself is correct for this 1, 3, 7, and 9. So this is clear to you, know. Now we are moving to next. So the next problem that we have, you can see again a pseudocode problem. And this problem will say you int x equal to 10, y equal to 20. So assignment of x equal to 10 and y equal to 20 is being done here. And now there is a conditional statement, conditional and. You can say logical and, you can say it logical and. And what actually logical and will do? It will give you true when both the argument are true. Otherwise, if any of them are false or both of them are false, it will give you result as false. Okay. If both are true, then only it will give you true. So that thing you have to keep in mind. So both the argument is being written should return me true. So here you can see the value of x is 10, y is 20. Now the first argument is this and second is this. So let's say the first only. So the first say x is less than y. So what is the value of x? 10. So obviously 10 is less than 20. So this is true. Okay, fair. Now check the second also. The second says x plus 5 is greater than 10. So what is x plus 5? X plus 5 is 15. So 15 is greater than 10? Yes. So it is again true. So both are true. That means whole conditional statement will return me true. And if the if condition will return you true, then we will go inside this if and execute the instructions. So the instruction says print x. So what is the value of x? You can see here 10. So we have to print what? We have to print only 10. Okay. So this is clear. Now next problem. Okay, you can see the next problem here. If in-order traversal of a tree generates sorted sequence, then the given tree is a. So here the in-order traversal concept is being used. And if you don't know about in-order traversal, then it is a traversal technique where we traverse first the left node, then the root node, and then the right node. Okay. There are other also that like pre-order and post-order, but they have different traversal technique. Okay. So this is the traversal technique of the in-order traversal. And if that traversal give you sorted, that means the left is smaller than the root and the root is smaller than the right, then this is simply a binary search tree, because binary search tree have also the same concept. Okay. So this is nothing but a binary search tree. Now the next problem, you can see here, which key is used to represent a relationship between more than one table? Okay. So to show the relationship between more than, you can see we are using the foreign key concept. So what actually the foreign key is, for we can say at attributes as a foreign key of this table if the same is present as a primary key of some other table. Okay. So this is the definition. So here the relationship between the two tables should be necessary to have a foreign key. Okay. So I hope this is clear to you. The foreign key is the right answer for this. Now the next question, you can see here, when a derived class inherits only from one class and not further inherited is. So there are multiple cases of inheritance, and inheritance, if you don't know, is a concept in object-oriented programming where a child class inherits the property of parent class. So here the question says, in which kind of inheritance the one class from one class and not further inherited. So that means the single inheritance. That means a parent have only one child and only this child will inherit from this parent. Okay. So this is the example of single inheritance. I hope this is clear to you. Now the next problem is, you can see here, again the oops question. Consider the statement given below. Okay. There are two statements given. It wraps the data with the code that manipulates it. Okay. So it actually, what happens? The wrapping of the code together. And then it keeps the data of the code same from external interference. So this is being done using public, private, and protected. Okay. So this kind of functionality is being used. So we have to tell which OOPS concept. So there are basically four kinds of OOPS concept. Those are polymorphism, abstraction, encapsulation, and inheritance. So these functionality is of what? Encapsulation. So basically in the encapsulation, the binding of the data is being done, and then the data hiding is also been done. Okay. Now the next problem, you can see here, SQL code is being written to us. So SQL code says select. Okay. Then a command is being used, replace. And then a string is being provided to us. And in that string, the first command is A and the second command is M. So basically what does this replace will do? It will replace any set of characters, okay, by the value which we want, interchange the value to that value from the value which we want. So this will means we have been changing in that string from where? Wherever the value A is present to the value M, okay. So wherever A is present in this string will be changed to M. So after doing that, if you see, the correct option for this is the B option, if I am not wrong. You can see here. Okay. Because here all the A is been changed or replaced with M because we are using the instruction replace in that database. Okay. So now this is clear. So this is the technical MCQ part. Okay. Now we are moving to the coding part. Okay. So there are basically two codes is been asked and we are going to solve both of them. Okay. So the first question that we have, you can see on the screen is, write a program that accepts an integer n as an input and print n odd numbers from 1 in increasing order. So we have to print whatever the n value we have provided, we have to print the n odd number starting from 1. So 1 is an odd number. And starting from 1, let's say we have to write 3 odd numbers, then we can write the first one is 1 itself, the second is 3, and the third is 5. So this is my answer if we have been provided to write the 3 odd numbers, because we have to start over 1 itself. Okay, then the constraint is being provided to us that n should be always greater than 1. This is clear. Input format is we have been provided n, and the output format is we have to print the n odd number in a single line with a space between them. So there must be a space between that number. This is clear. Now you can see here the sample input is 5. So we have to write the 5 odd number starting from 1. And what that would be? First one is 1, second one is 3, third one is 5, fifth one is 7, and fourth one is 7, and fifth one is 9. So you can see here, this is the simple logic. Just you have to print the first and odd number starting from 1. And how you can get the next odd number? So start from 1 and add 2 to it. Okay, you will have to get the new number 3. Again add 2 to it, you will get a new odd number 5. So this is the simple logic that we have to code here. So let's code that logic in my compiler. We can see here I am coding it in C++ here. Steady C. So let me add the libraries first. Okay, this is clear. Now int main, and inside the main, let me declare the input type first. Let's say int n. Let me take that n as my input. Okay. After doing that, what we have to do? We have to declare an int I equal to 1, the first odd number itself. Okay. And we have to do what? Let's say, let's say the n will be, let's take a counter here. Okay. Int c. Okay. Or we simply have n, so we have to print the first n number. So we are only doing while loop. So while, let's say n minus minus is not equal to 0, that means till when there is any count of number available, we are printing the odd number. Okay, so what we are doing, we are simply printing the value of I currently. Okay, and then the space is being provided, and then after happening this, after all this happening, we just have to increment our I to 2 to get the new odd number. Okay, so now let me run this. I hope. Okay, so this is not the number we want. Okay, this will be giving me the right answer, but let's check for the 5 itself. So you can see while I am writing 5 here, the first 5 odd number is being printed here. And now if you want to write this code in Java, then you have to do the simple changes. Like here, you have to implement the Java library. Then inside public static void main, you have to just take the integer n as input using scanner dot int. Okay. And after that, the while loop will be same in the Java as it is in the C++. And after that, just for the printing here in the C++, I am using cout, and the Java, you will use system.out.println. So these are the very basic codes. So for that, you just have to have basic knowledge of programming, and you will able to crack this code very easily. Now, the next problem that we have is, you can see here, write a program to find the sum s of all odd numbers from a given range x comma y. So basically there is a given range is being provided, okay, including this. So basically this means include that in your range also. But actually this means, let's say 2 or 4. If we have to write all the integer between 2 and 4, then we will write 2, 3, and 4. Here 2 and 4 is being included. But if it is like this, then that means open-ended question. That means 2 and 4 is not included in that range. Then the answer will be simply 3. Okay. So that we have to keep in mind. So it is basically close-ended. So we have to take that value is being provided also in our range. Hope this is clear. Now what we have to do, we have to find the sum of all the odd numbers between that range. And how you will say the number is odd or even? Just I have explained you. If a number is divisible by 10, 2, and gives a remainder as 1, we will say it as odd. And for remainder, we are using a modulo operator because it is giving me remainder. And so we are doing simply if the let take the number as n and take modulo of 2. And if it is giving you 1, then you can say it is a odd number. And if that number is odd and in that range of between x and y, then we simply add. Okay, sum. And after doing all this, we simply have to return the sum. Okay. And so let's take the example. So here, the sample input is 5 and 10. So what are the odd number between 5 and 10? So 5 and 10 also will be included. So that means the first number is 5 itself is odd. Then the next number is 7 and the next number odd is 9. Now the next odd number is 11, which is outside of this range. So we do not have to take that in our answer. So add them both. 5 plus 7 will be 12 and 12 plus 9 will be nothing but 21. And you can see the right answer for this is 21. And now input format will be what? In a single line, we have to take the input x and y. And output will be the single line printing the sum as s. Okay. So s is nothing but the value that contains the sum of odd number in that range. So let's code that value as well. So I am coding here only. We can see, let me declare two variable x and y and take that as my input. Okay. Now, after taking that as my input, let's create a variable sum, which will store the sum of odd numbers between that range. And to find the odd number in that range, in between that range, we just have to traverse in that range. So for int I is the first element of that range will be x, and the last element till we have to traverse is y, and I plus plus is happening. Now we have to check that if I modulo 2 is equal to 1, then we can say it is an odd number, so add that to my sum. Okay. And if it is not, then don't have to do anything. And after iterating through whole the range, whatever the value we got after addition, whatever the value the sum stores is my answer. So just come out and print that answer. Okay. And now let's run this code. Okay, so this will give me the wrong answer surely because this is not the correct input. So for the correct input, we are taking 5 and 10 as provided in my answer. And you can see the correct output for this is 21. So the correct value is coming to me here. So I hope this question is clear to you now. Okay. And I hope this video is also very much helpful for you. And we try to bring more such contents in the near future as the exam is going on. We try to do our best to get to you the contents as soon as possible so that you will have a great preparation for the examination, and all the best for the examination. If you like this video, then please comment down, like this video, subscribe to this channel if you haven't yet. And you can also go and check out our Achievers 2.4 batch because that batch is very helpful for you. And today is the last day for that offer, extra 99 rupees off. So please go and avail that. Okay. So thank you. We will be meeting in some other videos.